All right, what's going on, guys? I know this is a bit late. I've just had a lot of shit come up. My fucking car got broken into. So, yeah, anyway, a lot of stuff happened this weekend. Bryce Mitchell got knocked out cold. I don't know about you guys, but seeing those convulsions put my stomach in a twist. That was like one of those knockouts you see in fight videos on Twitter where these people are fighting on concrete and then their fucking head hits the pavement and they start convulsing exactly like that. Absolutely disgusting power from Josh Emmett. Shavkat did pretty much what everyone expected him to do, submit Wonder Boy. Someone's got to talk to Tony at this point, man. He needs to retire. He looked so incredibly slow in there, and it's tough seeing my favorite fighter as like a shell of himself. And when I say shell of himself, I mean that like fucking threefold. It's disappointing. I've read both David Goggins' books, and he talks about being an older man, keeping up with younger studs as a fire rescueman, if I remember correctly, in Canada. They like jump out of airplanes to go put out wildfires and stuff, and that's in like a mountainous slash like snowy environment. I feel like that was where Tony's mindset was with this fight. That's like kind of what David preached to him about this, you know, being like an old warrior keeping up with these younger guys. But it's different in the fight game, you know. Mentality isn't everything at that stage, especially at 40 years old with the danger of taking more damage. You can't just have the right mentality, you know. I hope to God they don't give him another fight. Even Dana has said he wants to see him retire, so hopefully they don't give him another fight. Pantoja showed the levels in grappling against Brandon Royval, and Royval really never got the chance to show up besides the fifth round, but even then his punches looked like they weren't really doing any damage against an exhausted Pantoja, which is surprising. He either had a good chin or those punches literally like they didn't have anything. I like Brandon Royval too. It was a good scrap nonetheless. I was entertained. For the main event, Leon put an absolute masterclass in my opinion. Colby Covington looked so scared and he blamed it on ring rust, but I don't think you can attribute getting taken down by someone who you were supposed to manhandle in the grappling exchanges to ring rust, you know? Something that should come second nature to you should wake you up. And you could see glimpses of that when there was that sense of urgency, like when Leon was threatening that guillotine and he just like automatically got out of that right away. Just other, I guess, spots where Leon tried to step over and then Colby had a whizzer, I think. And yeah, he reversed that. You know, there's that wrestling prowess. Like, you see that. If anything, that ring rush should have, like, wore off, especially in those grappling exchanges. But Leon just got up. You could attribute that to his fucked leg, because I'm pretty sure his leg was already kicked a lot by that point. Anyway, I think the commentary kind of took away from Leon's performance by criticizing his decision-making towards the end of the fight. If Colby poses no real danger of knocking Leon out on the ground in the fifth round, and Colby is fine throwing pitter-patter punches to rack up stats at the end, I think Leon is fine in finding out if he can compete against lifelong wrestlers. There's a lot of the same sentiment going around on Twitter that the fight was boring, and I don't necessarily agree. Like, that's not for the sake of trying to be different either. I think a lot more casual fans bought the pay-per-view because of the level Colby took the trash talk to, and a one-sided fight like that where Colby got shut down automatically made the fight boring. At least in that aspect, you know, there's that expectation that Colby is going to use his chain wrestling and pressure him constantly. But, I mean, apparently he went 2 for 10 on takedowns, which is really shit. Even just 10 takedowns for him is pretty shitty, again, with the way people were talking that this fight was going to go. So I guess we'll just have to agree to disagree with the people that think that the fight was boring. Like I said, I enjoyed the fight. Personally, the reason I was still a Colby fan after the second Usman loss was the embrace he had with Kamaru afterwards, where you can tell, you know, like he broke character. You know, he showed respect for Usman afterwards. And that's what I was expecting in the Octagon interview. You know, it was either going to be that he left because that was such a shitty performance, or he got on the mic and, I don't know, I was expecting him to walk his words back in a way and say it's just to sell the fight or somehow show respect to Leon. Instead, he carries on with the character. Instead, the fans that paid to see him fight and were cheering for him at the beginning were insulted and called a bunch of broke bitches. I got secondhand embarrassment from that, honestly. It's like that friend that's not usually funny, that says something that makes you laugh, and then he just keeps going, and now it's awkward because you have to fake pity laugh for the rest of it and hope he stops. Like, it's that type of embarrassment. Sean Strickland also got in a scrap in the crowd against Dricus du Plessis, which was pretty funny to see. He asked Gilbert Burns' kids to move out of the way before attacking him. Some other shit that happened was the N3on streamer. I don't know what ethnicity he is, but he's just like kind of like a skinny nerd streamer. His shtick is basically talking shit to other people. You know, it's like, oh, why is this scrawny kid talking so big? He can't defend himself. But yeah, that's his shtick. He got banned from entering the arena as he was streaming. He had posted a video saying he was gonna confront Trump about what? I have no idea. I was probably just planning on saying some stupid shit again.
I'm gonna walk up, I'm gonna talk my shit to Trump, and then it's gonna be a very good experience. And I'm gonna talk my shit. I don't care if the Secret Service is there. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna talk shit. So, huh?
They just dropped your name specifically, bro. They said N3on is not allowed in.
I'm tired of these bottom of the barrel rats having a platform. Honestly, yeah. Dana was asked about it in the post-fight press conference. Here's that.
He said he was banned from the arena. No, what happened is he said some stupid shit on Instagram, and he bought tickets so he wasn't anywhere close. When you start saying stupid shit like that, yeah, you're probably going to get busted up and thrown out of here, making threats and talking dumb shit, looking for clout.
I think he said he's going to confront Donald Trump as well.
Okay, what he said. Did he?
Well, he wasn't able to.
He's this fucking tall, too. You know that? Fucking punk.
Also, I'm definitely not the only one that feels this way, but yeah, what Colby and Dricus said did go too far in terms of trash talking. Especially Colby saying that to the unproblematic Leon. Sean Strickland was a little more understandable considering he's a bit of a trash talker. In Colby's post-fight press conference, he calls out Wonderboy. I feel like these reporters were actually taking digs at Colby with their questions as well, which was pretty funny to see. Asking him which title loss hurts more of the three, what his game plan was. He says that Leon fighting a majority of the fight in Orthodox is what threw his game plan off with the takedowns, which is crazy to me, that fighting in the opposite stance completely derails his plan like that. I'm not calling bullshit, like if that's really what it was, I've never fought on that big of a stage. They know what they're doing more than I do, so yeah. The reporters also ask him about Shavkat, and he says that doesn't make sense, which is crazy. He just admitted Wonderboy, which is who Colby is calling out, and Colby instead says him and Wonderboy have been at the top of the division for the longest time. So right there, right in and of itself, he's pretty much ducking Shavkat. I think it's safe to say his career at the top of the division is done. He's never going to be a title challenger anymore. If the gap between him and the champ is now that wide, and I doubt he wants to be a gatekeeper, hence the runaround for Shavkat. Also, Colby's heel shtick gets nullified if you can't back it up in the octagon. It kind of just gets sad, especially the Trump meat riding. My God, man. It's not like I'm some liberal anti-Trump SJW, but mentioning Trump every other sentence gets old so fast. How does a UFC fighter become a groupie for a politician?
But Mr. President is here to watch me. I got who do you got? The Queen of England? This motherfucker called somebody a dope? I'd love to see this guy's college transcripts. It's a fucking moron.
It actually starts to seem like that's also part of the character. That's when it falls apart. When you're in the post-fight press conference talking about the vaccine after vomiting out a sentence like, oh, I thought I won rounds 3, 4, and 5. The judges don't like me because I support Trump. It's to the point where it seems like he doesn't actually support Trump. It's like he has to constantly remind himself who he supports every other sentence. It also doesn't help that this dude is on his hands and knees for Trump in the octagon after the fight, and Trump is walking out of the arena. Just absolutely pathetic. Someone for real needs to keep an eye out for Colby because he is getting dogged on social media right now. I actually liked Colby's character too. It's just the dead father comment was like super uncalled for, and the dominance Leon showed was so satisfying. If you're gonna trash talk, make it in good taste. At least for me as a fan, there's a line. Please make it funny. Going after family when the beef is so artificial, it's just downright cringy and you're absolutely trying too hard. Like, this is like Dylan Dennis levels of cringe. They are literally playing the same heel character, and they're both big fans of the WWE. Dylan might be one of Colby's writers at this point for all those lines that Colby can never seem to not stutter through. Leon admitted that shit actually got into his head, and he went back to his room and actually cried from all the rage that he felt until his coach and his mom calmed him down. He said GSP actually reached out to him before the fight about that too. Both Dana and Leon have expressed that there are other possibilities besides Bilal for the next title shot, which has to fucking hurt if you're Bilal, man, or if you're a Bilal fan. I think for sure it's either Bilal or Shavkat when it comes to the next title challenger. As for who I think deserves it, obviously Bilal. He undoubtedly deserves that next shot, especially after the horrendous eye poke from Leon in Bilal's first fight. I actually rewatched that and I thought Leon was winning, but I also didn't know that was on short notice. That was when, I don't know, that was probably just some weekend I was busy or something. I didn't watch that fight. Also, in other news, MVP and Kevin Holland got announced for the Miami card in March, which is why Kevin Holland couldn't step in place of Ian Garry this weekend. The Luque and Ian Garry fight didn't even get remade either. It's now Jeff Neal and Ian Garry in March on the Miami card as well. With Dana saying that they offered Luque multiple fights that he denied, so I'm not sure if that means he denied the Ian Garry fight as well. Yeah, we have no UFC events until January now, and school is on break for me, so I'm going to be pretty bored on Saturdays. Oh yeah, one more note. I'd like to see how Ian Garry acts during this build-up to the fight. You know, he has already been slated to fight Jeff Neal before. He fucking put a mugshot. Well, his wife, I think, manipulated him to put a mugshot on a fucking shirt. Yeah, I think this is either going to make people hate him more or, I guess, turn his image a little bit, depending on how he handles this. If he continues with the fucking mugshot thing, yeah, he's going to lose more fans. He's going to keep getting shit on, but if he walks it back or just sticks to the fighting aspect, yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens, but thanks for watching. I have some more videos coming out maybe today. I'm for sure going to record them right now, but we'll see if they get uploaded today or tomorrow.